Carl, we'll start off as always with the supporters' questions. First one's from Michael Smith.
Jordan, can I just, before you ask a question, I've had an email this week regarding the questions that I pick and choose, and when I answer questions, can we just explain to people that for questions to come in, they send them through to Barry Brown. They send them to yourself, Jordan. Do you ask me every question that Barry sends? Because I've been accused of saying that I just pick and choose. I don't even know what the questions are until we sit down here. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Barry Brown, our supporter liaison officer, he gets the questions from supporters each week, and every time I get an email from Barry, those questions are asked on the dugout.
There's a reason that I don't want to know that. I don't want to know or preempt or anything. That's why I tell Jordan to ask me them, so they're sort of live, and I can't sit here and make things up. I'll just try and answer them as best I can. But I've answered every question that I've been asked. If your question's not got through, you need to speak to Barry.
Absolutely, and we'll start off this week with Michael Smith. His question to you is, why is discipline still a problem at this stage of the season?
Oh, listen, the discipline, yeah, fair question. I think on the weekend we give some silly penalties away, and it's a hard one to answer because obviously only the players know why they're giving, whether it's they're on the back foot and they're trying to slow things down. But when things don't go your way, you seem to give a lot more penalties away than when things are going your way. But listen, it's not. I'm sure the coaching staff don't coach them to give penalties away and have poor discipline. But I totally agree with them. The discipline was poor on the weekend, and it's something we need to smarten up very quickly.
Second question's from John Goodwin. Are you happy with the recruitment, and are you happy with the coaching regarding the discipline? But I think you've just answered that question a bit already.
Am I happy with the recruitment?
Yes.
100%. Listen, again, there's been question marks of we haven't recruited or strengthened in the halves. I've been over to Hull this morning, and I've sat with Lee Radford, and we spoke about this. We thought we had it all covered. I don't think people realise we've gone. Lee brought this to my attention. We've gone through 6 halfbacks this season. 6. There's not many teams in the comp who could turn around in this comp, the one above in Super League, to say that they've gone through 6 halfbacks in the season. We've got our own Geordie Hedges and Jordan Howden. We had Harry Tyson-Wilson, Jordan Abdul, Reece Dean, who we wish him all the best. He's had quite a bad injury and he's not too good at the moment. And then we had Brad Delaney. Jordan Howden and Geordie Hedges started stringing a few games together, and young Harry wanted to play, and he's saying to Radders he can't get in our team, so could he go on loan somewhere else? They organised a loan. Brad Delaney the same. Jordan Abdul ended up getting in Hull's first team. So all of a sudden these have all got fixed up, and then when we go to try and we've got a bit of problems here. We can't do anything. I don't know if you know, when you sign a loan with someone else, you can't do nothing for 28 days. So obviously when Jordan Howden's hip flared up and then Geordie got suspended, let me assure everyone, I was trying everything to try and get players in here, and for some reason or another those boys weren't available to us, whether it's through the loan, and in Brad Delaney's case it was only a few days earlier he would have come, but he'd signed that loan, and then there's nothing we can do. So listen, we thought we had it covered. You could look at it to say, well, if we win and sign 6 halfbacks next year and those 2 boys play, if they stay with us and play all year, and then we don't recruit heavily in another position and we pick up some injuries there, then everyone will be saying, why didn't we sign more back rowers, or why didn't we sign more props? So it's a tough one. It's one we honestly thought we had covered. With regards to the recruitment, I'll sit here now and I'll say I can sleep at night. Very, very comfortable with the players we signed. Again, people speak about our budget and question me whether our, I've told them we've had the biggest budget in the last 2 years. 100% correct. We have. Let's take it back. 2012, we won the league. First time in the club's history. Our guaranteed playing budget was 0. Nobody come and says about the budget then. We're not doing too well now. And the budget in the last 2 years, but like I've told everyone, is way, way bigger than we've ever had. So, but it wouldn't matter whether I'd spent £1 million this year. When you've got 10 to 15 players sat in the stands, what do? That's unlucky. You know what? We had total faith in the players we brought in. If we got our best team on the field, I'd sit here and say, yeah, we'll go close to promotion. The owners of this club have backed us all the way. Last year when we were going to relegation, we went to them asking for more money, they gave the money. So, people just need to understand that, I've sat and I've thought about it and I think, listen, when Club Doncaster took over the club, there was a team in the championship who was spending salary cap, it was 400,000 at the time. They lost 1 game all season. That very same team the last couple of years have probably spent circa of $1 million plus, and they're still winning the championship. It's not about just throwing money. The philosophy of the Club Donny, we build the infrastructure. I 100% believe in what we're doing here. People will see it with their own eyes. And when we make it, because I'll tell you now, this club will be successful. We'll make this club successful, I have no doubt whatsoever. And when we do make it and we get to where we want to be, we'll be able to sustain it and stay there because we'll have the right infrastructure, the facilities, everything, every base will be covered. Hey, we all want to go and win the league this year, but we never said we're going to go and win a league. We said we would be competitive. Now, 17 injuries start of the season, finishing 4th. I think hats off to everyone. They've done a good job. We lost 1 game on the weekend in the playoffs. Nothing's finished yet. Yeah, we picked up some more injuries. Let's be realistic and think, well, come on. It's times like this you stick together. Not when you go and win leagues and all that and everyone's patting you on the back. These are the times when you find out, who really wants to jump on board and fight with you. Now, I tell you now, I'm certainly saying I'm up for the fight, 100%. So, just if people are going to accuse me of lying, they cross the line for me. I've never lied about any budget or nothing. This is where we need to be. Listen, these tough times will see us good in the good times, but we've got to stay tight. The players are a real tight group. All these accusations coming out. We played like that because we've been kicked out of Cantley Park. I just don't know where people get these stories from. Do you know what I mean? It's fabrication, and I'm here to be shot at. More than happy to take the bullets. But listen, it's disappointing. I'm saying I'm disappointing because we've got a lot of young kids here, and they see all this stuff and what's been said against them, and I just try and keep them up. And we've got a game on Friday. This is the last thing we want to see. But the players are, like I say, the players are tight, and we'll come through it. I'm certain we'll come through it, and we'll be successful.
I know it's a completely different kettle of fish on the scale, I suppose, but do you see a lot of similarities between us this season and Leeds Rhinos with our injury crisis and the things that can happen to clubs?
Oh, listen, Leeds Rhinos, they won the treble last year. They're not even in the Super 8s this year. Their chief executive has come out and said the coach is under no pressure whatsoever. We lose 1 game and it's get rid of the coach and get rid of the CEO, get rid of the head of football. I don't even know we had one of them, but get rid of him as well. And yeah, I don't get it. But you could also look at the other side of the coin and you say Bradford Bulls, Sheffield Eagles, both gone full-time this year, both not made the 8. It's tough. You can't buy it. You can't buy success. You know, you've got to work at it, and it's something that if you put the right infrastructure in the place, it'll happen. I believe it'll happen here. That, you know, we're moving in the right direction, and the club's in fantastic hands. You know, I'm not a spokesman for Club Donny, or I'm not a spokesman for the owners, but I can tell you now, the club's in good hands. People who don't want to believe me, that's fine. You know. What are we meant to do? Well, we go and spend £1 million. If the owner said to me, right, Carl, there's £1 million, go get it. You need to win the league for that. I'd tell them, keep the £1 million. You can't guarantee it. Salford tried to buy it in year 1. I don't know what to say. I've said what I need to say. What's the next question?
Next question's from Chris Scorer. It says, at the start of the season, I said I won't criticise as it's not my job to pick the players or team and the prices, but we were told we would be competitive, but I'm not sure this season we can claim that. We were knocked out in the iPro Cup by London and we scraped 4th place, and he believes that we've blown any chance of promotion with the last game. You know, how much has this fallen short of expectation is his question.
Well, I think I answered a little bit of it there when I says, you know, for the amount of injuries we had early doors to finish 4th, we done okay. Well, he's entitled, that's his opinion, and, you know, he's obviously writ us off already after one game in the 9, so listen, we'll see. We can only see, and, you know, who asked that question?
Chris Scorer.
Chris Scorer, yeah. Listen, he's a genuine supporter, and, you know, I know for a fact he won't be asking that out of, you know, any malice or anything, but hopefully, Chris, we haven't blown it, and if we can get in that top 5, mate, I'm sure we'll get some troops back. I'm sure we'll give it a shake.
And, you know, it's still important to remember there's still, you know, six games left before the playoffs even kick in. You know, obviously you need to finish in the top 5 to get in those playoffs, but, you know, still all to play for.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I say, if we get in the 5 and we get some players back, you know, there's some half decent news, I think, on Mason Tonks is nearly back. Jordan Howden may be back. Geordie's got one more game after this one. Feka may become available. So, you know, Reece Dean probably would have been one we could have called on now if he hadn't had the injury. Like, you know, Radders says, we probably would have had Reece because he played enough games for us to play. So, but, you know, he won't be available for the rest of the year. So that we get some of these boys back, and we get into that 5. I'm pretty sure we can give a good account of ourselves. And
apologies for that technical error. Can you continue where you were?
What were you asking me?
You just like there's, you know, six games left, and still a long way to go this season.
Yeah, and like I say, if we get some few boys back and we get in that 5, I'm sure we can give it a good shake. And you never know, one-off games. It doesn't matter if we're playing at the Keep Mode or we're playing somewhere else. You know, if we can slip in that 5, hopefully we can make you all happy. You know, I understand that everyone's a little bit upset of the performance last week, but let's take nothing away from Barrow. I think they're one of the better sides we've played all year. Big, physical, tough side, and they put us to the sword. But some days that happens. You know, we played them this year. We only had 12 men, and we beat them. But I still thought they were a great side that day. And when we got a man sent off, I thought we were in big trouble. But the boys pulled one out there. So on one-off games, we can do that. It's just a case now of staying tight, sticking together, getting in that 5, and let's give it a real good shake if we do. And I'm pretty confident, you know, people will be happy if we go in there and give everything we've got. That's all these fans ask for. I know that. So I feel their hurt. I feel their anger. I'm happy for them to vent it at me, or, you know, but as long as as long as they tell the truth and don't accuse me of telling lies, there's no problem.
Just finally, obviously it's Hunslet on Friday night. It's going to be a very difficult game. You know, South Leeds Stadium's always a tough place to go, and it'll be our third visit this season as well.
Oh yeah, listen, and we all know what it's like going there. But it's backs against the wall time for our boys, and they need to stand up and show what they're made of, and just listen. All we ask is for them to give everything they've got. This is playoff football, so give everything they've got. Don't leave nothing in the changing room, and I'm sure everyone will be happy. If we go there and every player plays to the best of their ability, that's all we ask, and you never know. You know, if we come away with the spoils, it'll certainly make everyone's weekend.